delicious.
Sort of cools the ankles, doesn't it? Well, what do you think would be fun to do now?
I don't know, it's getting pretty late.
It's not that late.
The thing is, I have this big day tomorrow. I really have to get to sleep.
What's the big day tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm on television. You remember I told you about it? Isn't it delicious?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. So obviously starting off with a blonde wig plopped on top of our head. If you don't already have platinum blonde hair, coloured or natural. So I'm just brushing and just starting to mould it out into shape, especially with the bangs part. Then using a curling iron, clearly I am sort of flattening down using the heat, just to make sure that the bangs stay in place. Then using my actual flat iron to smush it down to the netted weave portion of the wig, the lace front portion. And then I'm going to start manipulating it just a fraction more with some curls, because Marilyn's frequently had bangs, curled in bangs, and other times the front parts of her hair has been a little bit longer, but still technically in bangs territory. So just manipulating here and there with the flat iron, and also using the actual curling iron, as you see here, curling it on top of my head, holding it in place in like a donut shape. Then I just hold it on top of my head for a little bit, wait till it sets, loosen it, and now here we are. This took over probably 30-45 minutes, so I definitely guaranteed, and just guaranteed, you should make sure you have tons of time ahead of time on hand. So these are my two reference photos of the original, very beautiful Marilyn Monroe, or Norma Jean specifically. Starting off with this, technically is a contour brush from XO Beauty, but I'm obviously using it to apply my foundation, Maybelline Fit Me Classic Ivory. Works great for fair olive skin like mine. Then taking some pressed powder and obviously setting my face, taking those two neutral browns and adding it to my eyebrows, filling in as I see fit, with a teeny bit of Marilyn Monroe in there somewhere in the shape. Going over with this lighter pale shade and dusting it over my brows just to give it an ashen look, to therefore measure up to more natural blonde brows. Then going in with that same shade that we used for the brows, the lighter shade, and putting this into the crease for a transitional tone. Then going with that darker brown shade that we also used on the brows into the uppermost crease for a bit of dimension each time I open my eyes. The pale white shade that we still use onto the lid to really emphasize and brighten up the eyelid. Then a slightly darker shade, it looks pink in the palette, it comes off like a brown, pale shade onto the brow bone. And now for the classic part of the makeup, the second most classic anyway, her liner. Tiny little wing that reaches up to the brown point shadow, back to the outer corner eye, and then of course a very thin line going across my eyelash. And as for what eyeliner this is, I'm not too entirely sure. It's from the Rimmel brand. So once again, same thing on the other side, to the best that you can. From the outer corner to pretty much where the darker brown is on your eyelid. And then of course a following thinner line, near enough to as thin as you can get it, across your lash line. Then some mascara, just on the top lashes. Taking these two lip shades from Too Faced, It's Happening and Lady Balls. Taking Lady Balls for a slightly darker shade, tracing it onto the outer portion of my lips. really taking down the shape of Marilyn Monroe / Norma Jean's lip shape. And then of course the paler shade goes into the center, because Marilyn has always had this brighter tone in the center. So those two shades were about as close as I could get. I did attempt a lip liner but didn't work. In fact, if anything, the lip liner just scooped out some of the liquid lip. Of course, just contouring the shape a little bit with some foundation, taking those two pink shades and adding a blush in a contouring like shape, taking those two at the top left, using as my highlighter. Legend has it Marilyn Monroe actually used Vaseline to highlight her cheeks. I would have absolutely done that and contributed, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Popping in blue contacts, taking these pearl earrings, technically in the scene for 7 Year Itch, Marilyn had earrings about as big as her eyes, referring to the white part of her eyes, but those ones were all I could manage. And this is the completed look. Thank you all so much for watching. I definitely had a lot of fun creating this, even more fun with the intro outro. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy your Halloween, and I shall see you all for my future videos. Adios.